like you don't belong because you're different. One day, Trevor the tomato slipped and lost his way. Phil the potato said,
"Go away. You're not from round here. Get to the fruit where you belong."
So off he bounced to the fruit. Would they be a friendlier bunch?
"Tomatoes aren't fruit,"
said Ollie the orange.
"Leave him alone, you horrible orange,"
said Cyril the carrot. He's not a fruit. He's not a vegetable. They all joined in the shouting. Enough, said the pineapple, formerly known as Prince. Can't you see, he said, underneath that juicy exterior, he's just like the rest of us.
Under the skin, we're all the same.
This is a normal street in the northern town of Warrington, but in this house lives a working medium.
That's what you're laughing. Clairvoyant is, it's like you see with your third eye, okay, which is normally situated here. It is known as ajna, okay. It's like just like a television screen in your head, really. The spirit, when they communicate with you, they might give you symbolics, things which are symbolic. You know, it's just simple. They might just show you a baby, but it means, say, like someone, maybe there's been a birth or there's going to be a birth. It could be just something symbolic. And then obviously I've got clairaudience where I hear voices. I mean, you don't really have to be a medium to sense or suddenly get this feeling that something might happen, and they manage to perhaps, just get out the way in time. It's just, I always feel, it's like you could be crossing the road and have this sudden feeling, I want to run, and then it could be a van just coming around if you hadn't got out that way in time, But it's like this inner knowing, another life, there was another dimension, aura, which is all your cosmic energy around you, and your aura can be it can expand and be so large. It's like my aura when I'm working can be like from one end of the room right to the other. Can even be outside the door. I know it sounds strange, but they have special things where you can measure your aura. So when mediums are working, they measure the aura. You can see how big your aura's gone. But that's mainly what gifts I have. Well, if I'm doing a reading, I'll probably see things clairvoyantly, I will hear clairaudiently, and usually when I start my reading, I sense, of course I hold an object and be picking things up. Have you all you in much?
Yeah, for about a year at least.
Okay. Well, going back to a child, that's how it was, things that happened to me as a child that put me on the pathway, actually put me on this pathway. I used to see them walking around when I was younger, and my father used to always think I was having nightmares and come into the bedroom, and I used to say there's people in the room, and he used to think you're dreaming, you're having a nightmare. And when he actually left the room, I watched this lady follow him. And when he came back up, I said, "Did you see the lady?" He used to always think I was having nightmares. But he actually passed away only about 2 months later. And by this time I was about 9 years of age. And I also, although I didn't actually know what was wrong with me father, because I was only a child, so they don't like to tell you. I actually dreamt that night, early hours in the morning, I had a dream. There was all the angels in the dream, and I was hearing voices saying, "We're taking your father to heaven." And he's going to be okay, we're taking good care. And when I woke up that morning, I just dived out of bed, ran into my brothers and sisters, and was shouting, "You've got to get out of bed, your dad's gone to heaven." Must been terrible saying that, but it was so real. And they all just looked at me and, thought I was a bit mad. So I just ran down the stairs, went into the living room, and the living room was full with people, aunties, uncles. And an auntie called me over and she said, "I've got to tell you about your father." And I just said, "I know he's gone to heaven." So they were very shocked and thought someone had told me. But when I told her I had the dream and the angels told me, she got really upset. It was just all instance like that, and it was not long after my father died that then I started seeing all faces appearing. I know this sounds funny. Has there been a problem with the toilet? I don't know if it's around you or someone close to you.
Yeah.
I know that I've sat to laugh there. They come in with funny things because like flies on the wall. But they just told me to talk to, your grandmother is saying, mention the toilet. Okay, do you understand where there's either a problem with the toilet now? Okay. It was happening that much to me that I did go to the doctors and I said, I keep seeing things and hearing things. And I don't know, it's frightening me. So they actually sent me to a neurologist. I had a brain scan. And they said, well, we can't find anything wrong with you. So they just said you must be, asleep. Or maybe you're waking up and falling back asleep, in and out of consciousness. Would you remember a lady that did pass with cancer?
No.
Felt like I couldn't breathe. So I jumped up and I was trying to breathe and I was feeling all dizzy and funny. And I just heard a voice saying to me, start praying. And I just started repeating. I started praying. I was saying the Lord's Prayer. I was saying other prayers. Please go in peace. Not realising properly what was happening, but I could hear my guide saying, pray. So I kept praying, and I actually felt I just felt this feeling coming over me, and I just felt it was like something it was just like something just coming out, and I just felt like this gush going like that. Took a few deep breaths, and it was like, and then all this weight, this heaviness had gone, and I was saying more prayers, and I was thinking, thank goodness for that.
You keep getting close to this subject.
Okay, do you understand things better with the camera? Well, I used to tell my friends a few things, and that got about, and then it turns out that people started asking me to do private sittings for them, and it kind of all escalated. So I was actually doing private sittings for 10 years. Although they're talking about your studies, they're telling me it's the studies, but you also do work with the cameras. Because I'm also seeing it in different places. Mm-hmm. Understand? With the camera all over the place. I had people come to me for obviously contact with loved ones who've passed over, because they can be grieving, and just bringing through the evidence and proof of survival helps them to progress and move forwards in this life. And obviously, because I am psychic as well, I can help with people with things going on generally in their life as well. It's like a guidance. I go around now doing church services, and obviously I still do my private sittings. I also help with workshops and help to train and develop other mediums as well. I enjoy what I do because I help a lot of people.